Shalom Yasharala Yahawada, Brother Malak. Continuing on, part 3. War on every side. War, war, war. War is in the air. You can smell it. War is in the air. You can smell it. Civil unrest is in the air. Civil war is in the air. You know, race wars is in the air. Class wars is in the air. War on every side is the topic. As the second Ezra 16:23 says, and the dead should be cast out as dung, and there should be no man to comfort them, for the earth should be wasted, and the city should be cast down. There should be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men. This is the times that we're coming into. This is the times that the prophets, those men that you see on the highways and hedges and the chief places of concourse in these Babylonian downtowns, this is what we have been prophesying forever. This is what the men that preach that preach this gospel, rather, on these digital platforms via digital epistles. This is what we have been preaching and teaching forever, or for a minute. Word to mouth, preaching and teaching for a minute. It says verse 27. It says, so that one man shall desire to see another. So it's going to get so bad out here to where you're going to be desiring to see another human or to hear another human. That means a lot of people are going to be dead. A lot of people are going to be dead if that's the case. It says, so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his or her voice, if you will. It says his voice, but there is man and woman that walks on the earth. So both voices are going to be desired to be heard. Put two and two together. Second Ezra 16:27. So that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. It says, for of a city there should be 10 left, and 2 of the field which shall hide themselves, and the thick groves. You know, it's gonna. I just gave you the apocalyptic movies like the Walking Dead, the AMC series. That's a good series of how it's gonna be out here. But it's not gonna be zombies. It's gonna be youth. It's gonna be, well, people are going to act like zombies. So I guess it is going to be zombies. People are going to be acting like zombies. It's going to be civil unrest, civil war, the wild, wild west. And you know how people was hiding in houses, hiding in houses, one of the biggest games that's out here that displays this is Fortnite. Fortnite is a good example of how it's going to be. And this game called Fortnite, it's like a battle royal, men, women, and you're going around gaining supplies, breaking down houses and breaking down objects and breaking down things to grab supplies, to stock supplies, and to move out through the map. That's how it's going to be. Second Ezra 15, Second Ezra 16, Second Ezra 9, Matthew 24. Yeah, that's how it's going to be out here. Dog eat dog world. It's already a dog eat dog world. It's already civil unrest. It's already BS that happens while society is somewhat intact. You know, the ghettos, the slums, the hoods. It's going to be hell to tell. Even in these suburbs, once everything goes thin, These rural areas, these suburbs, when everything runs dry, when everything runs thin, it's going to be hell to tell. And those that's inside the hood, the slums and ghettos, they're going to be coming out here. Everybody know that. Everybody knows that in every Babylonian city. Once everything goes thin and dries up, they're going to be coming out of the ghettos, the slums, the hoods, to get out here, to get out there, to get out where? To the, to the royal areas, to the suburbs, because that's where the money at, right? That's where the money is at. That's where the goods are at. 2nd Ezra 16:28, for of a city there shall be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks. As in the orchard of olives, upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives, or as when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard. Even so, in those days there should be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword. You can't make this stuff up, man. These are the times that's coming. And people want to put this stuff aside. They want to say, man, that's not going to happen. I won't be here when this happens. That's going to be for the next generation. The way things are going, I wouldn't be surprised if this happened in the next year and a half. I wouldn't be surprised if this happens in the next 3 years. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if this happens in the next 6 months. 2nd Ezra 16:31, it says, even so in those days there should be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword. Now remember what I said in part 2. The guy was going into people prepping. Here's the prep buster for you preppers. All you preppers out there throughout Babylon, all you preppers that been prepping. You got your garage prepped up with the snacks, with the chips, with the dip, with the condiments. You got your dry goods. You got the matches. You got the lighters. You got the first aid kits lined up, the Band-Aids, the peroxide, the alcohol. You got the flashlights, the matches. You got the candles. You got everything lined up. You got everything right. Looking real pretty, looking real good out here. Garage lined up. You got the basement lined up. You got everything packed and lined up. Everything right. You've been prepping. You's a big prepper. You one of the biggest preppers. You big prepping. You big stepping. You big prepping. You got everything lined up. You ready. You so prepped up and lined up and well off. When society collapses, you can hold strong for about 10 to 15 years. Well, here's the prep buster. 2nd Ezra 16:31. Even so, in those days, there should be 3 or 4 or even more. It's just giving you a number, 3 or 4. But, you remember the book of Eli, how you had these gangs going around. It can be, these posses, these gangs, these, I forget what you call them. I can't think of the terminology right now, but it's a certain name. But you got these gangs that's going to be ganged up, man, 20, 30 deep, 15 deep, 10 deep. They're going to be ravishing your daughters. They're going to be ravishing your wives. Right now, it's a thing that look real good right now. You got Instagram, IG, the socials. And let's not get it twisted. I mean, looking good is looking good, man. Everybody wants to look good, but more so dialed in on you women. Women really take their pride in beauty. But believe you me, in that day, you pretty women, you're going to want to look, you're going to be wanting to look. The pretty women That's all on the IGs. That's all on the Twitters. That's all on the socials, all on the YouTubes. These beautiful, pretty, gorgeous women, attractive women. Believe you me, in that day, in the days that's coming, 2nd Esdras 15:16, 2nd Esdras 9, Matthew 24, even a little bit of Revelations 18. Believe you me, in these days, they are going to want to look their ugliest. They're going to want to look their ugliest. Because you attractive women, you gorgeous women, beautiful women, nice looking, shaped women, you're going to be high commodity in those days. You're going to be sought and seeked after. They show you this in the movies. They show you this in these shows. You're going to be, the Bible says they're going to be ravished. All you fine women of all nations, Edomites, Israelites, Moabites, Ammonites, Hamites, all of the nations under the sun here in Babylon. You attractive women are, and women in general, in that day, it's going to be dog eat dog world. So even you ugly women, you obese women, you ugly women, any women are going to be, it's going to be hell for you women. And I just tell you that, and the children. But, women, you have something that men puts on a high on a pedestal, and we all know what that is. So you women are going to be sought after that day, especially you attractive women. 2nd Esdras 16:31. It says, so that's why you men, yeah, man, it's gonna be something, protecting your families, protecting your daughters, your girl nieces, your girl cousins, your sisters, your wives' family, her nieces, cousins, brothers. This thing is going to be the wild, wild west. This thing is, it's going to be something. Like the Bible says, it's going to be a time like never seen before. 2nd Esdras 16, reading on the prophecies. It says 31. Even so, in those days, there should be 3 or 4 left by them that should search their houses with the sword. So all you preppers, you big prepping, you big stepping, you're going to be taken by the sword. Because like I said, the guy said, let you preppers prep. While you prep, he's going to be stacking up ammunition and stacking up weapons. Because he's coming to take all of your preparation. All of that good, sweet preparation you have been doing over the years. You got people that's just sitting, waiting on stuff to hit the fan so they can come and take your stuff. That's what's going to happen. But the men of the Lord, man, Yahweh willing, we be part of those men. We be those men. We got to be those men. Nobody understands these prophecies like us. Nobody is breaking this stuff down like us. No one is teaching and preaching this stuff like us. We got to be those men. Yahweh willing, the angels encampeth around them that fear Yahweh. We're going to be good in those days. And it tells you that. It tells you that in other prophecies that during famine, the heathen, the people, the heathen, the 2/3, they're going to envy. But they ain't going to be able to do nothing about it. Because we have that spiritual protection, that anointing, spiritual power. And our families are going to be protected, Yahweh willing. We have the faith in that. 2nd Esdras 16, it says, and the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and her paths shall grow full of thorns. Nobody's going to be cutting the grass. I mean, if all hell breaks loose, of course somebody's going to be cutting the grass and lawn mowing and doing regular stuff. It's going to be about survival. It says, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel therein through. The virgins. I just got into this earlier, but here it comes. Here it is right here. Yahweh put it right there. 2nd Esdras 16. The virgins shall mourn. Hot girl summer. The city girls are up. Here in Babylon, man, you women, you run rampant. Whoredom is at an all-time high here in Babylon. Y'all do the whoredom at your own consent. OnlyFans is going crazy. Women are becoming rich off OnlyFans, millionaires, multimillionaires. OnlyFans and pornography in itself. Women are rich, prosperous, giving consent to give it up, to throw it out, to shake it all about, to show it off. But in that day, you're going to be trying to look your ugliest, and you're going to be trying to hide, and you're going to be trying to find a man of the Lord. That's when that Isaiah 4:1 kicks in. Matter of fact, we'll precept that. Precept upon precept. Isaiah 4:1, Isaiah 4:1. It says, and in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So yeah, that's going to be happening big time. 2 Ezra 16:33, precept upon precept, precept upon precept. That's how you unlock the Da Vinci Code, so to speak. It says the virgins, women, young, virgins can be any age, but more than likely, young women. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms, no husbands, no men. It says the women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. It says, in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed. When this draft, war, what is the topic? War on every side. When this draft takes place, because Russia and America are going to see, they're going to go blow for blow. It's going to happen. China, that China, America, America, China, and Russia, going to go blow for blow. It's going to happen. The alpha has to see the other alpha. It's just how it happens, just how it go. And usually alphas avoid other alphas because they know how it's going to go. Only one is going to be standing because it's going to go there. But these alphas are going to go blow for blow. It's written, China, Russia, or America. And everybody is trying to get the number one spot, so to speak. They want to be the next world power. So it's going to happen. It's prophesied. 2 Ezra 16:34 says, in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, their husbands, and their husbands shall perish of famine. When this draft comes, the draft is coming. The draft is coming. These men are going to be drafted. That's why it says that earlier in the prophecy, it says that men are going to wish they can hear other men and women voices, because it's going to be death. Not only is it going to be civil unrest within Babylon, but those that left Babylon to the war, those that went off to the war. While you out there warring, it's going to be civil war and unrest in the land, a war on every side. And you women are going to be drafted too. All of you butch women that think you're men. Just because you wear our clothes, just because you wear our clothes and wear them the way that men wears them. I never understood that, man. This is how you know that most women are, I ain't gonna say all women, because you got some very intelligent women out there, very intelligent women. But man, most women is, for the most part, is just not bright. They're not the brightest lights in the room. Especially you butch and you butch, you tom. I wouldn't say so much tomboys, because you got girls that's tomboys, but they like what they supposed to like, men. So I can't say all tomboys, but some of you tomboy girls but you butches, you dykes, you're gonna be drafted. And you got butchers and dykes in the army already, but they're gonna see the difference between a man and a woman. You're gonna see the difference in that day. You're gonna really see the difference in that day. The difference between a man and a woman. why Yahweh made man and why Yahweh made woman. You're going to see the difference. Y'all going to be going off in war. And you know what? I'm willing to jump out on a limb and say some of you women are going to be raped. Y'all going to be raped out there in that war. You're going to be casualties of war and being raped. I mean, I'm going to say I believe that's going to happen. It already happened. It be happening with your damn own combatants. Your own combatants, your own partners be raping y'all because women ain't supposed to be in war anyway. That ain't your lot. You wouldn't create it to. I mean, don't get it twisted. You got some warrior women. You got some women that can fight, warrior women. But yeah, that's amongst women. That's amongst women. Yeah, you a great fighter amongst another woman, but you trying to fight a man. You know, not no scrawny, weak men, and that's an anomaly. We talking about in the army, everybody is just about fit, jacked. Militarily sound. So that's what I'm saying. It's not going to happen, Jack. 2nd Esdras 16:33, the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. It says, in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Hear now these things and understand them, you servants of the Lord. And we're listening. We got full ears and we're at full attention. As the prophecies say in prophet Ezekiel, warn the people to get the blood off your hands. That's what we do. On these digital epistles. Even if some of our channels ain't as big as other brothers' channels, so we don't get a lot of traffic like other brothers do. But the work has been done. We know that the stuff goes over these airways. We know that people are listening. We for sure know that you devils are listening. We know you are listening. We know that. We know you're tapped into our devices. We know y'all be watching us. We're spiritual men. We know. And just like y'all watching, we're watching. And just like everybody's watching, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai is watching and listening. Nobody gets away scot-free. Nobody gets away scot-free. What's wrong with people, man? What's wrong with these people? Why do people think they get away scot-free? Nobody gets away scot-free. Eventually, Yahweh brings everything to pass. He brings everything to light. Nobody gets away scot-free. 2nd Esdras 16:35. Hear now these things and understand them, you servants of the Lord. That will be us. Behold the word of Yahweh. Receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spoke. False gods. Behold, the plagues draw nigh, draw nigh, near, and are not slack. Now, that's a good precept for Prophet Habakkuk. Habakkuk 2 and 3. Let's bring it out. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. You see everything happening: earthquakes, storms, thunderstorms, floods, volcano eruptions, civil unrest all around the world, wars, rumors of wars happening, things getting set up, things getting fixed. Winter is coming. Notice everything always ramp up around winter. You notice that? It's like that every time. Soon winter come, everything just ramps up. It's like Yahweh ramps up everything when that winter come. That cold, stupid winter. I can't stand. I can't stand the winter. If it's one question I gotta ask Yahweh, it's definitely got to be that in the kingdom. I'll ask Yahweh or Yahweh Shai, why did y'all make winter? That's going to be, if I can remember this from here on out into the kingdom, if I can remember, that'll be the question I'll ask Yahweh Shai. Why did you make winter? Yahweh, I hate winter. Why did you create this climate? Why did you create a climate change called winter? I hate winter. Hate winter. But I digress. Winter is just depressing. Everything is dead. Everything is sleep, still. It's cold. It just makes you angry. The cold makes me angry. I hate winter, but I digress. But that'd definitely be a question that I ask Yahweh Shai in the kingdom. Why did you make winter? What is the purpose of winter? Winter is and it's probably got something to do with the harvesting, something with the soil or something. I get it's probably something along those lines, but I hate winter. But everything always ramps up around winter. You notice that trend? Soon winter starts to approach, stuff just picks up. Yahweh just push everything in gear. It's like that winter on top of it's like winter, that cold on top of prophecies. It just goes back to back. But yeah, man, the vision is yet for an appointed time, but it shall come. Habakkuk 2 and 3, and then you precept. 2nd Ezra 16:37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. As when a woman with child is in the 9th month, brings forth her son or daughter, for that matter, but it says son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child comes forth, they slack not a moment. And that's how the prophecies is coming. Exactly. That's how the prophecies is coming. Earthquakes, blood moons. We didn't had about 3 blood moons. The water didn't turn red. The rivers of Euphrates didn't turn red. Some other waters in Jordan didn't turn red. These are all the telltale signs. You didn't have the eclipse, blood moons. Like I said, plagues. All of this stuff is happening. It says, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. It says, and the world shall mourn. Is not the world mourning right now? You got people complaining about the cost of living. You got people complaining about the cost of living. You got people complaining about these jobs, trash jobs. Complaining about the cost of living. You got people complaining on how Donald Duck, for the most part, he's an intelligent man, but sometimes he's Donald Duck. See, I really don't have a gripe, because like I said, I kind of see myself in him. I kind of see myself in Donald. So I really don't be having a gripe with Donald. And, I'm a prophet, man. I know the truth. I know that everybody is being guided by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. But not only that, but you see Donald Duck, man. You see he's cutting off the Section 8, which is good. But for you people that hate it, you're mourning over it. He's cutting off the EBT, or editing it, rather, doing whatever he's doing. The big, beautiful bill, whatever he's doing with it. You see people mourning over the decrees that he's passing and the legislation that he's processing or whatnot. But the prophets of the Lord, man, we're not tripping. The sooner the better. That's how we feel. And that's how you're supposed to feel. Because we already know what Yahweh wants for this place, Babylon. It says, "Oh, my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle. And in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth." That's how everybody's going to be. You're going to be as pilgrims upon the earth. Just like the movies, just like the end time apocalyptic movies, man. One of the great end time apocalyptic movies is a movie called The Road. It was called The Road. The Road. It was a good movie with the guy that plays in Lord of the Rings, the best Lord of the Rings, part 1 and part 2. I forget his name. And don't get it twisted, man. I've always been cultured. I am culture. I'm an Israelite. I make culture. I am culture. I'm an Israelite. I make culture. We are the culture. We are the salt of the earth. I'm always cultured, but I forget his name. But I know just about a good handful of everybody, so to speak. I'm not one of those like individuals. Like I know my Edomite actors and actresses. I know my Tom Hanks. I know my Nicolas Cage. I know my Bruce Willis. I know my Matthew McConaughey. I know my Tom Cruise. I know my I forget his one name. I don't know why I'm forgetting his name, but I know my actors. Man. I be knowing my Edomite actors. I'm not one of those because honestly, we're not like what people try to paint us to be. We're just truth tellers and truth seekers. And of course, I know my Israelite actors. That's a no-brainer. Yeah, I know some of I know some of, we in the know, man. The prophets is in the know. We in the know. Just put it like that. 2 Ezra 16:41. He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeteth away. And he that buyeth as one that will lose. He that occupies merchandise as he that have no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. He that soweth as if he should not reap, so also he that planteth the vineyard as he that should not gather the grapes. They that marry as they should not, they that marry as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers. So all of this stuff is going to be happening during these times. It says, and therefore they that labor in vain. It says, for a stranger shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods. All you preppers, big prepper, big steppers, you big preppers, you big steppers. For strangers shall reap their fruits and spoil their goods and overthrow their houses and take their children. Yeah, man, if you know the women, Yahweh says the men are going to be like women in those days. So just imagine what the women and the children are going to be like in those days. This is why, man, you got to have that anointing. You got to have that covering, that spiritual covering and anointing of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. The angels encampeth around thee. The angels encampeth around we. The angels encampeth around that protection, that spiritual protection, that spiritual guidance. And Yahweh willing, we be a part of that number. We be those men. We get that spiritual power. Or we be around some brothers that got that spiritual power. Meet up and greet up. Only Yahweh knows how he's going to make this thing play out. Only Yahweh knows. But if men are going to be as women in those days, just imagine what the women and children are going to be in those days. These times that's fastly approaching. It's a 2 Ezra 16:46. For strangers shall reap their fruits, you big preppers, big steppers, big preppers, and spoil their goods, overthrow their houses. Not only take your preparations, but take your flesh and blood, your children, and take their children captives. For in captivity and famine shall they get children. It says, and they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons, the more will I be angry with them for their sin. But see, this is coming towards the sinners. Yahweh, he's a merciful power, man. He knows everything. He knows everything. He knows who is with him, who believes in him, who has faith in him, of the house of Judah and the house of Israel. I really don't know what's going to really shake off for you Gentile nations. Because if you really believe, then y'all will be pushing this stuff like we're pushing it. You'll be serious about it. You'll be preaching, teaching it. You'll be living it. You'll be trying to get laws passed and things done to make it to where you'll be trying. If you Gentiles really believed in Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, you would be doing everything in your power to get this place close to the Bible as possible. But you don't. So this is the elect of Israel. 2nd Ezra 16:47. And they that occupy their merchandise with robbery, the more they deck their cities, their houses, their possessions, and their own persons, the more will I be angry with them for their sin, said Yahweh. And that's going into you 2/3. Like as a whore, like as a whore that envies a righteous, honest, virtuous woman. It says, the more will I be angry with them for their sin, says Yahweh. Like as a whore envies a righteous, honest, virtuous woman, so shall righteousness hate iniquity. You're right. When she decketh herself and shall accuse her to her face, when he cometh that shall defend him, that diligently searches out every sin upon earth. And therefore be ye not like thereunto, nor to the works thereof. For yet a little in iniquity shall be taken away out of the earth, and righteousness shall reign among you. Let not the sinner say that he has not sinned, for Yahweh shall burn coals of fire upon his head, which says before Yahweh and his glory, I have not sinned. Yeah, we're all sinners. That's why we fight this flesh to the best of our ability. And we try to indulge in the spiritual food every day. Do something spiritual. Stay in prophecy. Be occupied in prophecy. Fight off the flesh. Behold, the Lord knows all the works of men, their imaginations, their thoughts, and their hearts. Can't hide no thought. Your secret, deepest thoughts can't hide from Yahweh. He knows it all. Which speak but the word, let the earth be made, and it was made. Let the heavens be made, and it was created. And that's pretty much the point of that, man. It's going to. It's about to hit the fan, man. War on every side. War on every side.
All right. Shalom. First and foremost.
See what brother bringing out.
Military is no longer just preparing for war overseas. It's being positioned for war on U.S. soil. I've been trying to prepare you.
Ding, 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 ding. Civil unrest, because you got a lot of factions out here too, man. You got different factions that believe in what they believe in. And you got like I said earlier within these lessons, you got the patriots, the good old American patriots who's going to die for their constitutional rights and die for this, yada yada. You got this faction that believe in this. You got this faction that believe in that. You got Democrats versus Republicans. You got this class versus this class. You got all of this division, Egyptian versus Egyptian. So this civil war is going to happen. I believe a civil war is going to happen. Civil unrest is going to happen. While it's war taking overseas over the ocean, is going to be war in the homeland.
For this since 2023, I told you it was coming. I will get some new videos together as soon as possible. Oh, it's breaking news.
Yeah, raging war on the citizens. And what I wanted was Revelation 6.
For you for this since hands of no different ground than at least.
Let's go into it.
It's a lot, but like I was saying, these Esau, Edom.
So it says the radical left in Congress shuts down the government. So you have a government shutdown on top of all of this stuff that's happening. So a lot of things is happening. A lot of things is going forth.
He wants to wage war. He wants to, eliminate the enemy, which is you Israelites, man. Especially you Israelites that's bringing out this truth. He wants that to stop. Let's get this other one.
And we know what we're in. We know what's to come. But we have faith in Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. And we know when they say stuff like that, we know that these devils is gearing towards the prophets, the apostles, the scholars, the teachers. But Yahweh, soon as Yahweh is going to lift up that standard, you touch Yahweh's anointed, and you're going to see Yahweh get down. But you have these other factions here in America that's building as well. You actually have these other factions within America that want to get rid of their gov. You got a lot of stuff happening here, man. You got a lot of stuff happening. But we're going to be good, man. Yahweh is going to be with us. Yahweh Shah, the angels, all of this stuff is written. We're just carrying out the lot. That's it.
Coming in hot. This morning, President Trump told a room-packed law is breaking news. Martial law is coming in hot. This morning, President Trump told a room packed with generals that America is facing a war from within. He wasn't talking about a foreign enemy. He was talking about our own cities. Trump named places like San Francisco, Chicago, New York, and LA as training grounds for U.S. troops. And here's the kicker. Troops are already on the ground in at least 5 major cities: Memphis, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Portland, and Los Angeles. The president said we're under invasion from within. No different than fighting a foreign war, except this enemy doesn't wear a uniform. His defense secretary backed him up, calling for looser rules of engagement and untying the hands of soldiers here at home. Critics say this crosses into dangerous territory that blurs the line between military and law enforcement and risks putting American troops directly against American citizens. One thing is certain. The United States military is no longer just preparing for war overseas. It's being positioned for war on U.S. soil. I've been trying to prepare you for this since 2023. I told you it was coming. I will get some new videos together as soon as possible. All is breaking news.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing, this false narrative. There's always been a false narrative with Esau, man, with E. Some war on terror. They do the war on terror to implement and bring in the next stages of the plot and the strategy. But ultimately, it's Yahweh that's guiding this whole thing. That's what it is. Let's grab another prophecy. Let's grab Proverbs. There's not going to be any peace, man. It only gets worse from here. Proverbs 16:4. It says Yahweh has made all things for himself. Everything that's here in existence, Yahweh has made all things for himself. Yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil. And that's what you see. Luke 12. Let's grab Luke 12, 49, Luke 12:49. It says, I am come to send fire on earth. This is red letter. This is from Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. As I said in my last lesson, this is the one that you call to get rid of the boogeyman, John Wick, and Godzilla is coming. This is his words, the red letter words. And he's he's Yahweh Shai, Mashiach, him and his father. They're both the ones you call to get rid of the boogeyman. And John Wick and Godzilla himself. This is his words. It says Luke 12:49. It says, I am come to send fire on the earth, civil unrest, famine, pestilence, betrayal, injustices, Democrat versus Republican, citizens versus citizens, class wars, clash wars, all of it. It says, I am come to send fire on earth. That's a metaphor, analogy. It says, and actual literal fire. It says, and what will I if it already be kindled? Because by the time he comes, it's going to be in the midst of World War III and such and so forth, as the prophecy goes into. It says, but I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how am I straitened till it be accomplished? Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth. See, this is what you stupid Christians. You stupid Christians. I'm going to keep calling you Christians stupid because you're stupid. You Christians are stupid. You keep talking about Yahweh wants Babylon to have peace, give peace, bring peace. This, yada, 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 blaza, blaza, blaza. Y'all, you Bible casuals as well. Y'all don't understand prophecy. You don't know what's going down. You don't understand. It says Luke 12, I'll start back at the top. Because it's just so good, man. It's just so good. And it puts everything in perspective. Luke 12:49. You sit and wonder why everything is just going to garbage. You sit and wonder why everything is going, when you're not in the, see, before you come into the truth, you used to sit and ponder on why everything is just garbage, why everything is going to garbage. Why, as the years progress, society, it just seems like it's just going through the drain. Why, as the years progress, why does it seem like nothing is never the same as society, as years progress? Why does it feel like everything is going backwards as far as, spiritually speaking, really, morality and morality. Just the world is just garbage. The music garbage. It's like everything is not the same. Nothing is the same. It's just everything is just backfiring, going backwards, garbage. And then when you're not in the know, you sit and ponder on that. And then when Yahweh brings you up out of the darkness and wakes you up and shows you why, then you go, it all makes sense. Luke 12:49, I am come to send fire on the earth. And what will I if it already be kindled? But I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how am I straitened until it be accomplished? Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth. I tell you no, nay, but rather division. So all you stupid Christians that keep praying for peace, Yahweh Shah tells you in the New Testament, in the Gospels, suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth. How can he establish how the world is backwards? How can he bring peace to a backwards place? Just think about that. Now, those that's in the knowledge, that's in the understanding, that has the anointing, the covering, Yahweh Shai is the covering. He prays for the elect. John 17, he says, I pray for the elect, roughly paraphrased. And in John 17, he was praying for the elect, praying for the servants, praying for the saints. So he's praying for us, rooting us on. So we get that peace. We got right to that peace. But for the rest of these people in the world, he's not bringing peace. Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth. I tell you no, but rather division. Division. For from henceforth there should be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, 2 against 3. The father shall be divided against the son against the father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And he said also to the people, when you see a cloud rise out of the west straightway, you say there come a shower, and so it is. And when you see the south wind blow, you say there will be heat, and it comes to pass. You hypocrites, can you discern the face of the sky and of the earth? But how is it that you do not discern the times? All of this stuff that's happening, man. What is the topic of this lesson that I'm going into, that I'm breaking down precept upon precept? War on every side. War. You hear this devil talking about there's a war. There's war from the inside. This is all narratives pushed and all propaganda pushed to really try to negate the prophets and the prophecies, and then to bring in this beast system. That's really what they want to bring in, this beast system. You gotta make up some stuff so you can bring in some stuff and complete some stuff. Order out of chaos. It's really what it is. see what this brother brought out.